So now I am going to send the request from my mobile. You guys see I received the message, right? Hello everyone, in this video we are going to see how to integrate WhatsApp Cloud API into our Android app. So without wasting time, let's go to the topic. I set up into this level. So those who don't know how to set up, let's go and watch my 5 videos I created as a playlist. So let's come here and you can able to see. So this is a curl request. This is a post and this is a base URL, and after that header and two headers and the data, right? So if we implement this API into our mobile, then easily we can send a message from our mobile to other WhatsApp numbers, right? I mean our custom apps to other WhatsApp numbers, right? Let's go and open the Android Studio. I create a new project, empty activity, and click next. I just keep the package name as it is and I select the minimum SDK as 21, which means 5.0, the lollipop one. I just finish this one. So you guys see our project loaded successfully. So in order to send any of the API requests, we want some client, right? So from the client library, we are sending a request to our mobile to the cloud, right? So that client is Retrofit. So just go to the Google and I am going to search Retrofit library. I just click this one. I open this one. So this is a library we have to use, and other than that we want another library, that is Retrofit-gson. So gson converter, just click this one. So this is not a Google one, you can see this is from the Scare company, right? So just copy this one and expand the Gradle script and open the module level, and here I just paste here. Okay, here we have to paste the latest version, and again I come to here and I copy this one and Control D this one and paste the library here. So you guys see, after that I cut this latest version, so make the same version of this one, right? I just copy this one and put it here, and after that we want the OK HTTP library, so I just go and search HTTP library Android. I just click the first one, so I copy this one, the library, and paste it here, and I use Sing now. You can see this is a GSM converter. This is not the Google's one, this is a Square Live one, Square Up one, and this one also the Retrofit, right? And after that the OK HTTP library, right? That's all, and our project loaded successfully. And I go to the main activity, so I just click the slide view. So as of now what we are going to do is I just going to create one button and name it as send request. So as of now we are going to see whether it's working or not, right? Send request, and I give the ID as button ID underscore ID. I'm coming here and create the variable for the button which I created before, private button, right? So here I just declared, here I'm going to initialize the button in the onCreate method. Find me by id r.id button id, right? So this is this button id I am getting from here, right? This button id, right? So I just go back here, and that's all. So I'm going to create one onClick listener for the button dot set onClick listener, new onClick listener. So you can able to see we can change this one as a lambda function, replace this one as a lambda function, right? Just replace this lambda. So lambda is a Java 8 feature. I just put a toast message here, toast, right? So I just click this one, toast, right? Second one, if I click that will automatically complete the other text as well. Here hello, I just put hello, right? I just select the emulator, I just run this one. So my project loaded successfully. I just click the send request. You can see this is working, right? As of now we added the correct library which we're going to implement. So I'm going to create a new class. So here I'm going to create a Retrofit instance class. I just hit enter. So this class is created successfully. So here we have to create a retrofit instance. So in order to create a retrofit instance, I'm going to create a private retrofit instance. Private static retrofit, you can able to see retrofit, right? This one, and again I call the one variable as retrofit. So after that I'm going to create one public method, public static, the return type is retrofit, and the method name is retrofit client, right? Get retrofit client. So I am going to call this variable retrofit variable, and here I'm going to create a new retrofit. You can able to see retrofit.builder. I just click this one and hit enter, and here I have to provide the base URL, and after the base URL I have to add the add converter factory, and after that I have to add the client, and after that I have to build this object, right? So here I have to provide the base URL, right? So in order to provide the base URL, I have to create two things. So I'm going to the postman here. So this is our request, so this is our base URL, and this is a version, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create one static variable, private static string, here base URL, and I Ctrl D and duplicate this one, and this one is a version. So I'm going to copy this one, this is the base URL, and come back here and paste it here, and make sure you have to end with one slash, and second one is a version, right? So here the version is, I just go to the, you can see 13.0, right? I just copy this one, I paste it here, and make sure you have to end up with one slash, right? So here the base URL, right? I copy this base URL and plus the version, right? So actually what we are doing is, right, we are represent this request, right, this curl request into our Android app, right? That's all, right? So after that you guys see the add converter factory. So here what we had to do is we have to get the converter factory from here, right? That's why we are adding this, the converter-gson library, right? So that's why I'm going here and I have to type gson converter factory, right? Gson converter factory, you can see gson retrofit converter.gson, right? Just hit enter, and here I have to create this one, not a class, create, and that's all. And after that we have to create one client, right? So what I'm going to do is I just right click here and create one class, right? That class name called interceptor, my interceptor, right? I just hit enter, I just arrange this one, right? So here, so in the interceptor class contain the headers information, right? So the authorization key and the header information we are going to store into the interceptor class, right? So it's kind of chain, right? So we have to implement this one with the interceptor class. So interceptor, so you guys see interceptor is coming with the OK HTTP, right? So that's why we are adding this OK HTTP, right? That's all. So I'm going here and you guys see, so this is if we implement, that's the interface, right? So if you go inside this one, and this is method declaration, right? So if we implement the method declaration, we should have to override the method, right? That's why it's asking to implement the method. I just click this one, I just hit OK, right? That's all, right? So here what I'm going to do is I just cut this one here. I'm going to create one request, right? That's the OK HTTP, and after that I am going to create one object, and after that I am calling the chain, right? Chain, and after that that's a request, right? So you guys see this chain is coming from this parameter, right? And I'm going to create another request, and this request I'm going to name as new request. so request new request, and here I am going to call this request, right? And here I am going to do is creating the new builder, right? And after that, right, in this builder you guys see I just arrange this one. So in the new builder, so what I'm going to do is I just add the header, right? You guys see this header, right? Not headers, you guys see this is header, right? So in the header I have to name this one as, right, I am again go to the postman, and you can see this postman as well. You can see this one, right, this authorization, right? You can just copy this one. So if you are using this one, you no need to worry about that. You can copy this one as well, and here I paste it here, and after that I put a comma, and the second parameter is a value. For in our case our value is this one, right? So in order to paste this one, what you have to do is you have to type bearer, right? I just minimize this one. Actually that is called bearer, this one, right? bearer, right? bearer, then space, then paste this one, right? That's okay. And after that what we have to do is I just hit enter, and after I enter this one, after that another header, because you may guys wonder why should I want to add another header. You can see, right, the another header I am mentioning the content type, right? I just copy this content type and open the quotation and paste it here, and the second type I have to pass the value, right? That's application JSON. I copy this one and paste it here, and that's all, right? And after this one I put enter and build this one. That's all. So I just going to arrange this one. I just hit OK. Right. So I just give a space for this will make our code more beauty. And after that I'm going to return this one. Return, right, the second one. And here I'm going to call the chain, right? Chain. And after that the proceed. Here I have to pass the request. That request is the new request which we created before. Make sure that's a new request, not this one, the new request, right? That's all. So here what we had done is we created one request object, and after that using the request object we created another request object, and that request object we are passing the authorization and the content type and the returning that new request, right? So that's all, right? So this is our class. This is contains our authorization, the header information, right? I just copy this one and go to the Retrofit instance, new OK HTTP client. After that I am going to create a new builder, and this after that I am going to add interceptor. So here I am going to create one object for this my interceptor, right? So I just copy this name and already created new, right? New keyword is for creating the object in Java, and after that I created, right? So after that build, right? That's all, right? So we created the retrofit instance correctly, but thing is we not yet complete the singleton implementation, right? So in order to complete the singleton implementation I have to check this retrofit instance whether it's null or not, right? I can copy this one. If it's null, what you have to do is I want to create the retrofit instance, right? If it's not, I have to return the retrofit, right? That's all. So you may guys wonder, so what I have done is very simple, right? So this is a singleton. The purpose of singleton is creating one object for one class. So what will happen is, so if we calling this retrofit client from the another class, right? So that will come to this here and checking retrofit is null or not, right? If is it calling in the first time, this must be a null, right? Then this will create, right? This will come to the if condition, and this will create this object for the retrofit, and then after the next line this will return this one, here, right? The return type is a retrofit, right? So this is how we are creating one instance using the singleton design pattern, right? So that's all and nothing complicated here. So now we are going to create one interface for our API service. I just click the new class and I'm going to type API service and make sure you have to select the interface, right? So if you want, you can give the capital I before. Normally whenever we creating the interface, for the naming convention we have to give a capital I, then our interface name. I just hit enter. So this is our interface, right? So here what you have to do is we have to annotate this one with a post request, right? So why the post request? Make sure this post request coming from the retrofit, right? So you guys see, right? This is a post request, right? That's all, nothing, right? So in the post request, you guys see this is our base URL. After base URL, phone number ID, right? And after that the message tag, right? So you guys see sometimes this might be changed in the future, right? So sometimes if we integrate so many apps in our single app, we have to send different numbers, right? So that purpose what I have to do is in this post request, after that I'm going to create a curly brace. Here I'm going to type phone number ID, right? So phone number ID, that's all. And here the messages, make sure this is messages, MESSAGES, not a message, right? You guys see messages, right? That's all. And after that I'm going to call this one. Make sure this is not from the telecom, this is from the retrofit. I just hit enter. And here this will return one object, right? This will return one object. For in our case, right, I'm going to the postman here and this is the body and I am sending the request. You guys see this is body, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create one model class for this response, right? So that's why if I create a response for the model class, then I can easily get the value, right? So this object is our model class, right? So I'm going to name it as so first of all I'm going to create one package here, package, and name it as model and hit enter. And inside this model class I'm going to open I'm going to create one new class here and that's called message object. So this is our custom class. I hit enter and after that you can create variables like this, right? So this is kind of different thing, right? So private, like you have to do like this, right? Private string, and after that you have to get the value, right, and paste it. And likewise you have to create and you have to right click and generate the constructor and getter and setters, right? This is kind of difficult thing, right? So that's why what I am going to do is I just delete this one. I am going to delete this one. I deleted. So I already installed one plugin, right? Those who don't know how to install the plugin, just go to that preference and here you can type the plugin. So you can search here the Robo Pojo generator, right? So this is a plugin. So if we paste the JSON response, that will automatically create a model class for that JSON response, right? So what I'm going to do is I just copy this our response completely. Make sure you have to complete from the beginning to the end, and I just right click this one new. If you install the plugin, if you go to the new, you can able to see in the bottom generate Pojo from the JSON, right? I just click this one and I paste the response here, and this is Java and setters. I want setters and getters as well, right? Then we will customize this one, and this is a model our model name, right? So I just put message object, right? I just generate this one. So it is generated. So if we expand this one, you guys see, right? This is a model object. You guys see private string messaging product, and after that message and contacts, and make sure this is messaging product, right? But here you guys see this is come like messaging underscore product, right? So this is different, right? I just copy this one and make it as like this, right? And message product, I copy this one, I replace it everywhere. That's all, right? So this is our response, and this second one is a contacts, and third one is a messages, right? So you can see message product, messages, and contacts, right? So message, this is another object, right? I mean the message and contacts is another object, you can see. That's why it is creating the input and WhatsApp ID. So just go to the message item and ID, right? So this is only contains ID, I mean the messages. And after that, you guys see this is a contact item, this is the input and WhatsApp ID. And again the one thing wrong with here, WhatsApp, this is input is correct, but WhatsApp underscore ID, right? So what's the WhatsApp underscore ID, I just copy this one, I replace it here. So I'm going to call one method, right? The method that will return message object. You guys see in the call I'm going to pass a message object here, because that's object I'm going to get as a return, right? That's all. So if it's the interface, that must only contains the method declaration, right? So this is a return type of the method, and after that the method type, after that method name, send message, right? That's all. And that's a method declaration. But you guys see this is a phone number ID, right? So phone number ID is coming from the path, right? Just type path, and here the path name is this one, copy the exact name here and paste it here. And after that we have to provide the variable type, that's a string, and that is phone number ID, right? That's all. And after that I hit enter and put a comma here, and after that I have to pass the body, right? So here you guys see I just option enter and import that body here, is imported. So here I'm going to pass the body of the request type, right? So here this is the request type, copy this one and again go to that model and click the generate pose from the JSON and paste it here. And this is not a message object, this is for the request object or request model, right? For the understanding purpose, the request model, and getters and setters, that's all. And I just click generate, again is created, right? So this is a request model. So you guys see again this is message underscore product, right? So messaging product, right? Messaging product, right? I just, what I'm going to do is I just underscore and change it as our request type. I paste it here and paste it here. So I was changed as messaging product because this name and this name must be similar, right? So to type, template, name, language, code, everything must be similar, right? So if you go to the template, name and language, right? That's fine. And this is a request model, I close this one and okay. So here in the body, right, this is a message body, right? That's all, right? So here what I am going to do is the body is the model class which I created before, right? That's called request model, right? I just paste the request model here, and library is not imported here. Option end, right? So I import the class, right? It's not a library, import a class. And after that I am going to name it as request model, right? That's all, right? That's all. So you guys see I'm going to explain again. So this is the interface. So according to the interface, this is only having the method declaration, right? Not a implementation, right? So this is from the Retrofit, and this is a response type, and this is our method name. You can put whatever name it is here, and this is path, right? So what the thing is, I'm named it as path because this phone number ID we will going to pass into the place where we going to implement this interface, right? So after that request model and the that object name, right? So that's all. I'm going to the main activity. So inside this button click, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a object for the this interface, right? IAPI service, right? I just close this one and go to the main activity and paste it here. IAPI service, I just put API service, right? Here I have to call the retrofit instance, right? Retrofit instance. The retrofit instance is this one which I created before, right? This one. After that, after I create the so after the retrofit instance, I'm going to call the retrofit client. That's a method which I call it public, right? That's why I can able to call from the outside. So after I call the retrofit client, right, then I'm going to the create method, and this method I'm going to pass this IAPI service, right? IAPI service class, right? So you guys see, now I created one object for the interface, right, with the implementation, right? That's the thing. So here I created one API service, right? So in the second line, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an object for the call. So here make sure this call, right? That's all. The not a telecom, you guys see the second one, retrofit one. That's fine, right? I hope I mistakenly import the no, not a mistakenly, right? Yeah, the retrofit call. So here we have to put the response model. So the response model is this one, right? Message object is a response, right? Message object, and after that I'm going to create one object for the call. After that, you guys see, right, I'm calling this API service. I copy this one and paste it here, right? From here I'm having one method that's called send message, right? So in the send message I want to pass two parameters. One is phone number ID and second one is a request model, right? The phone number ID is that's a string, right? So I put a comma, and the phone number ID I can get from here and here as well, right? So this one I just copy this one. Oh yes, I just click this one, copy, and paste it here. The second one is a request model, right? So request model, we have to create a request model object, right? For in order to create the request model object, I just in the onCreate method, right, for the example I'm going to create a request model, right? Request model, the request model, new request model, right? So you guys see, if you go to the request model class, right, so template messaging product to type, right? So template is a class, right? First we are going to set these three values, right? So you guys see the request model. So I'm going to set the value for this model class, right? I just call this request model. I copy this one and paste it here. Set messaging product, right? So messaging product is a WhatsApp, right? So again I'm telling, so you guys see, right? So messaging product, it's a WhatsApp, right? So same thing, right? So okay, then request model and set 2, right? Here 2 is reception phone number, right? So in our case this one, right, my phone number. So in future you can create a new edit text and getting the user input from that edit text, and you can directly send from your mobile, right? So as of now I am going to use my test mobile. Request model and set type, right? So here you guys see type is a template, right? I just copy this one and paste it here, right? So after that we completed 3 things, right? We completed these 3 things and we have to set the template, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to here and I'm going to create object for template, and here object for rig model, right? So request model, that's all, right? I just copy this and paste it here for the understanding, right? So here, so you guys see template, right? Template is another separate class that's contained two properties, name and the language, right? So I just template new template and template dot set name, right? So template name, first the name, then template set language, right? Set name is a hello world, right? I just go and paste here, and set language. So you guys see the language is another model, right? So again I am going to create an object for language, right? So here what I am going to do is language equal to new language dot set code, right? So this code we are going to get it from here. I copy this one and paste it here, right? So now everything's fine. So only thing is better if I copy this one, cut this one and put it here, and better if I cut this one and put it here, and right. So now we are getting the language object and set it here, and now we are getting the template and set it here, right? Request model dot set template, and we are passing the template object, right? So template object here, and here language object, right? That's all, right? So now our request model is completed, right? So request model is completed, and what I have to do is I just put the log here. So as of now we not yet create any log. So in order to create the log message, I just put log, you can log t, right? Just hit enter, main activity, right? That's fine. And here what I have to do is here the on create, I just call the request model and toString, right? Then we can able to see our request model object, right? That's all. And here the request model we have to paste. I just copy this one, request model, right? This is the one we are created, right? So I paste the request model here and complete it. And here as of now our call object is ready. We have to call, right? So in order to call the call object, right, retrofit call dot enqueue, and after that we have to call one callback, right? So the callback will respond after it's getting the result, right? So for that creating the callback, what you have to do is just create new callback, right? The first one, right? This is created, right? So I just put the log message here, and I'm going to get the response here and paste it here, and toString, and if in case if the failure occurs, I just put the log here, log and failure, and t dot get message or stack trace, right? Everything is fine to analyze, right? So that's all, guys. And another thing I have to make sure, just go to the manifest, and here I have to add the internet permission, right? Users permission and the internet, because whenever we do the network request, it will, our mobile device will going to connect the internet, then only we can send the request, right? So I just run the app again. So in order to analyze the log, I just copy this one, main activity, and paste it here, right? Chain validation fail, right? Just close this one. So the chain validation is fail, that because you can able to see there are a lot of reason the chain validation fail occurs, right? I again delete this one and I press the send request and show you guys, right? You can see chain validation fail, right? for the so many reasons. So another the major reason is, right, you guys see, so the current time is now 21:23, right? I mean night, it's around like 9:30, right? But you can see in the emulator time that's showing 3 o'clock 26, right? 3 o'clock 26 minutes, right? So I'm going to reset the time. So I'm going to the emulator and going to the settings here, and here I'm going to type time. Yeah, after I click the time, I disable this one and I just click the date is fine, I guess. No, date also failed. No, it's June 2nd, that's fine. And the time, I just click 9 and 9:28, right? Just click 28 and 28 p.m, right? So I'm current time for the recording. Okay, that's fine. Now again run the app and let's see whether it's working or not, right? So this is the on create, right? So that's why we are getting this message, right? I mean the object, right? This is on create and this message, and let's click the send request. Yeah, it's taking time. Yeah, now I am getting the 400 as a error code, right? So finally you guys see the reason for the error message is, right? So here I am using the phone number ID, right? So the phone number ID is wrong, that's why I am getting the 400 as a response, right? So for the example, I just put a 0 here and run the app here and send the message. You guys see 400, right? So I remove the 0 and run the app again, terminate and send request, right? You guys see 200 and currently I am receiving my message. So I am opening my visor here. So you guys see, so as of now I just send a hello, hi, right? That's fine. So now I am going to send the request from my mobile. You guys see I received the message, right? So this is working, guys. So in future we will going to create some templates. From the templates we are going to send the message from the mobile to the WhatsApp, and other than that we are going to automate our messages, like for sending the birthday wishes and other special events. We just automate our message, so in specially the specific time that will receive for the customer's mobile, right? And that's all, guys, and thank you so much. Please make sure to subscribe my channel, and thank you so much.